Before we get to the next episode with Jaime De Anda, I want to thank some special people for pledging on my Patreon page. That's the link that's right below here in the description of the YouTube video. Want to thank Alexander Aldape, who pledged $25, Carlos Vasquez, $9, Jesus Ramirez, $25, and Justo Cantu Jr., también $25. They'll be receiving an exclusive hashtag PVT t-shirt que no todos van a tener, nomás las personas que se suben en el Patreon and they help out the show, okay? So, vamos a continuar. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and also share it with all your friends so people can find out more about this awesome show, hashtag PVT, because I've got some great interviews coming up in the near future. Pero vamos a continuar con Jaime De Anda, JDA, aquí en hashtag PVT. Sústame one time. There was a time when I was going through the social media and there was a video of you going live somewhere saying that they had stolen your trailer with music and with instruments and stuff like that. Platícame un poquito de ese jale. ¿Qué pasó ahí, Jaime?
Well, you know, I guess like they say, el diablo nunca duerme. You know?
Was it in Houston? Or
where was it?
Houston,
in my hometown.
A gig here in Houston ends on a low note for a popular Tejano band after the musicians found themselves the target of criminals. The musicians said the performance went well, but after that, their van, trailer, and all their equipment inside was stolen. Our Brittany Jeffers live in East Houston with the band's plea for the return of all their instruments. Brittany?
Yeah, Bill, I got a chance to speak with those band members, and they tell me that they went inside this Luby's restaurant for a quick bite to eat. They say they were there for about 30 minutes, and when they came outside to the parking lot, it was then that they realized their van and all of their instruments were gone.
We travel pretty much every weekend.
More than 20 years on the stage together, and the 5 musicians with Jaime y Los Chamacos have spent their lives on the road. On Saturday, their travels led them back to Houston for a Halloween gig at Herrera's.
It was a great turnout.
The next day, after a quick lunch inside of this Luby's, drummer Ruben Mendoza came out to find their van and trailer had vanished.
We had estimated, I would say it was about $150,000 worth of equipment.
Valuable instruments and gear gone.
My drum set was in there, bajo sexto, Jaime De Anda's accordions, 4 accordions were stolen.
The instruments are all very distinct, with engraving, flashy colors, and pictures.
My drums has our picture of the band in front of it.
More than the sentimental factor, it's their livelihood.
These are our tools. This is how we provide for our families.
Got all this stuff that they worked so hard for. Every weekend, they're out of town. They leave families behind. They miss birthdays. They miss holidays just to perform for our fans, for somebody just to come and take everything that they own in a blink of an eye.
They filed a police report, but no trace of the van or trailer. Now they're just praying someone will recognize it and return the instruments so the music will continue.
So you weren't with them when that happened?
I was not with them.
So you were on your way to San Antonio, and the rest of the guys had the trailer in the van.
Right.
And they stopped to go eat at Luby's.
Yeah, it was lunchtime. It was daytime.
Uh-huh.
And they said that when they came back outside, it was gone. And those guys are always carrying so many keys and leaving keys in the RV. I mean, in the van, they all had keys in there. So if they left their keys in there, it was easy for anyone to go in there. And if you break the lock or whatever, and they were like, "Oh wow, here's the keys right here." Just you know, and it's just hard to say because during that time when this happened, before that, we were already having, you know, when you have your disagreements, you feel like we've been together so long that we're not getting along as much, and you know when we go to record, it's getting where it's just like a job. You know, you clock in. I see the guys in the studio there, just like whatever. You know,
routine.
Yeah, it was like a routine. You know, you could see that things were changing and stuff, and the music was getting. To me, I felt like we were getting lazy. You know, because we weren't doing as exciting. You know, to me, I felt like, I can't wait till the weekend's over, it seems like.
And the music industry had changed a lot too, man.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't, and so had the atmosphere, you know, of the music and the Tejano music industry,
Definitely.
the conjunto industry. So there's no radio stations in Houston that I know of or anything like that. They're all online. So, I mean, I could imagine where you all were starting to feel a little stagnant
Yeah.
because of the support that you weren't receiving from radio like you used to,
Correct.
back in the day when every city had a Tejano station, dude.
Yeah. Back in the 90s when everybody was supporting, everybody was excited to see the bands and everything. Yeah, but times change, of course, and we think, and it took me quite a few years. Oh, man, so quite a few years to get those accordions where they were customized and they're my names are all over them, and we'll show pictures of them. But to see something like that happen, now it's been a year later. Now we're talking about a year later, and we're looking at, my management, Mr. Julian Johnson. He's like, man, how can it be where nothing has been said or no one's seen anything, or how can they just be sitting somewhere? So I guess the next step to take is he's telling me, look, Jaime, I put some money together aside from the management department. I says, look, let's make an offer out there. Let's see if people are really, interested, or maybe, we'll find out. He's saying that, he says, look, let the fans know that if anybody finds the accordions in good condition, unharmed, he says he's willing to put $1,000 per accordion. So if you find those accordions, bring him in. Hey, there's no questions asked. We don't care. I do. Those are like my babies. They're your tools of trade. They're your tools for work.
That
So
sucks,
he's saying-
bro. I mean, I hate rats, dude. And
Believe me.
in Houston, I was reading an article a couple of years back. A country artist was there, and he went into a Denny's, and when he came out, his trailer was gone and everything. Zane Williams, I think, is his name, and he had put a magnetic tracking device in the trailer, so they were able to track where the trailer was going.
What's up, y'all? Zane Williams here, telling you about the DeWalt Mobile Lock. I'm not getting any money from these people. I've never even met them, but this device saved our trailer and all of our gear. So when it was stolen, basically this is a GPS tracker. It can also talk to cell phone towers. And so it's more effective. Like if the thieves take your stuff, somewhere in a parking garage or something like that, this thing can still tell you where it is. Basically, it's magnetic, so you hide it wherever you want to, and it has a vibration sensor, so you can have it call your cell phone if it senses vibration or if somebody removes it. That way, if they steal your stuff in the middle of the night, it'll call your phone, wake you up, and you log on to the website on your phone or on a computer, and you can track people, see where they're going. That's exactly what we did when our van and trailer was stolen, and it led the police right to where they were. We got our stuff back that day, except I didn't have one in the van, and they took off in our van. So now I've got one for the trailer and the van.
When they call the cops and the trailer goes to a warehouse, the cops get there and the warehouse is full of stolen equipment.
That's crazy.
So there's a ring, and it was not just those people. There was a whole ring involved because they started putting it under surveillance and stuff. So there was a whole ring involved of criminals that just target musical groups and their trailers of equipment. So when that happened to you, I said, man, that's the same guys that got that country artist,
Exactly.
And so it happened in Channelview. You said something
Close
like
to
that?
Channelview, right
In
there.
Houston?
I mean, you're talking.
So if there's
That's
any
fine.
accordions in that area, if we have any fans that are watching #PBT in the Houston area, and you see the pictures or you see the accordions that are in the pictures that we're showing you right now, those pictures are very, very sentimental value to Jaime, and he is willing to give away $1,000 to the people that can give him
accordion.
per accordion for the
Unharmed.
people that can give him information to get those accordions back.
Well,
So-
not only that, he's saying, you know what, the person, if you find, not just for information, if you find the accordions, if you can bring them back unharmed, whatever, that person will get $1,000 per accordion. Unharmed. I mean, we don't want them damaged, whatever, because, like you said, they are sentimental. One of my accordions, the red one especially, I had my dad's name on it. It says, Raul De Anda. When he was born it was April 6, 1924, and then he had passed right on his birthday, April 6, 2004. And that's crazy because, things like that you put on your accordions that make it more sentimental, and it's just hard to believe that people do things like that. And so that's what we're saying right now. The offer stands as $1,000 per accordion. If you bring the accordion unharmed, I mean, it's undamaged and everything, he's looking at giving the person $1,000 per accordion. So that's $4,000 if you can bring back 4 accordions back, unharmed and everything. And there's no questions asked because, right now we don't know what's going on. And if anyone can find that, there's a reward now. There's a reward for you guys out there. So to make you feel like, hey, you know what, I'm not going to say nothing because, who knows. But
no questions asked. We're going to leave the contact information is in the description down there also. So if you have any information, contact Jaime and his crew. And
Julian Johnson.
We'll get a number. And let us know if you find those accordions, man. Not only would you be doing Jaime a big favor, but it's something that should
be rewarded.
Should probably one day be in some sort of museum or Smithsonian Institute, because those accordions have they've traveled a lot and they've made a lot of people happy through the music, man.
Exactly. And so we hope.
And speaking of music, you've got something brand new out, no?